rousing stuff.
And quite exhausting, having seen it.
Yeah, quite. It was an exhausting show. It's a lot of fun to do because there were points in the show where there were 12 of you all singing completely different things on the stage, plus doing whatever you were supposed to be doing, which was sort of being in prison or being killed. That was just quite nice. We had people. It was a very hot summer. We had people having to go out to the fire escape to be sick because it was all a bit much for them.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Intense.
Too much information.
No, sorry.
So you've got a degree in law from the University of Cambridge, and the world is your oyster?
It kind of was, but I hadn't had a year out at any stage, and I'd been quite young, I think, going to university. I think I would recommend people to take a bit of time. And I needed some time. You can imagine coming out of that experience with my dad. So I thought I'll go a really long way away for as long as I can. So I had a bit of money. So I went around the world for nearly a year. And I started out, I flew down to South Africa. In South Africa, it was 1994. So South Africa was newly democratic. And it was a very exciting place to be. So I was there for a few weeks and went overland. Now, this was something you couldn't really do in those days. You had to do it by yourself or get on one of these organised trips. And I didn't want to do an organised trip. I wanted to just be by myself. So I did train, I did hitching, I did bus. Buses in going through Africa was quite an experience. But yeah, so South Africa, Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls, all of that stuff. A bit of Lesotho, because we had family down there, and they had a farm that bordered Lesotho, so I went into Lesotho. Went overland through Mozambique, which was the tech corridor was only just open, so you were only just able to go through. Malawi, which was just amazing. Tanzania, spent Christmas on Zanzibar Island. Kenya, then went over to India, was 3 months in India just travelling around. And yeah, Bangkok for a weekend. Bali for a week, because the travel agent said, "No, the way these flights are working, would you like a week in Bali?" I was like, "Yes, please." And Australia and New Zealand for 6 weeks each, which is long enough to be around New Zealand, but not Australia, particularly on the bus. 32 hours on a bus. That was not good. I was grateful for the sleeping pills I bought in India for 15p, the traveller's friend. And then coast to coast USA, so LA to New York in 8 weeks, which was just so much fun. And to finish off in New York, I mean, even though I was broke by then, it was a lot of fun.
And on the way, I think you picked up the next piece of music.
I did. I had my little Walkman. I can't remember where I bought it now, but I got a load of bootleg tapes as I was going around and picked up this just because I'd seen stuff about it at home. Australian New Zealand band called Crowded House, and this is their last album before they split. They've been back together since, but this song I kind of was rooted to the spot when I first heard it, because it just spoke so strongly to me, just about where I was at that moment in life. It's a song called Together Alone.